This topic is addition of mixed numbers with different denominators and renaming. When we're working these out, we're always going to put them in simplest form. And my recommendation is write your mixed numbers vertically and give yourself a little space between the whole number and the fraction, the part. Because really what we're doing here is we are separating the whole numbers from the parts. You don't have to draw that vertical line there, but sometimes it can be helpful. And we have two different denominators. We have a 4 and a 7, so we need to ask ourselves, what do 4 and 7 both go into? What is a multiple of both 4 and 7? You can always multiply them. In this case, 28 is going to be our new denominator. I just put it out to the side a little bit, and we're going to find an equivalent fraction for 1/4 that will equal 28. I'm just going to save the 5. I'm not going to worry about that right now. So I'm only paying attention to these parts right now. I'm finding equivalent fractions for them. So now I'm going to ask myself, what did I do to 4 to get to 28? And I'm going to multiply by 7. I'm going to multiply the numerator of 1/4 by 7 also, because what I'm really doing right here is multiplying by 1 whole. And when I multiply by 1 whole, I get a fraction that's a new fraction over here that is equivalent to my old fraction over here. So now for the numerators, I have 1 times 7, which is 7. And this fraction down here, 6/7, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to ask ourselves, what did I do to 7 to get to 28? And that's multiplying by 4. Do exactly the same to the numerator of that fraction, because again, we're multiplying by 1 whole right here. 6 times 4 is 24. Now we have the same denominators for our fractions, so we can just add the numerators, 7 plus 24. And 7 plus 24 is 31. The name of our fraction is 28. I'm still going to save my whole numbers because this right here is an improper fraction that I need to change to a mixed number. To do that, I'm going to do numerator divided by denominator. 28 goes into 31 one time with 3 left over. So I'm now going to carry the 1 whole that I got right here up into the ones column, or into the whole numbers place column. And the remainder of my mixed number down here is 3, and that is 3/28. So I'm going to go ahead and write that. Let's just write that at the bottom, 3/28. And now I can add my whole numbers, 7 plus 5 plus 1, that is 13. So our final answer is 13 and 3/28. In this example, we see that we have a fraction plus a mixed number. When you have that, I usually write the mixed number on the top, but it doesn't really matter. Make sure that the fractions go in the fraction column and the mixed number, and the whole numbers go in the whole number column. So that when we're doing this, we have something that looks similar to this. This was addition. Same thing as last time, we do not have a common denominator, so 6 and 5 needs a common denominator. I'm going to just multiply them together and get 30. Sometimes that's not the least common denominator, but it will always be your quickest common denominator. Well, usually. And now we're going to try to find an equivalent fraction for each of our old fractions. So 6 times what is 30? 6 times 5 is 30. I'm going to multiply the whole thing by 5/5. 5 times 5 is 25. The bottom fraction, 5 times what is 30? 5 times 6 is 30. Multiply the numerator by the same thing. 2 times 6 is 12. Now we're ready to add 25 plus 12, which is 37/30. I'm not ready to do anything else with this 7 up here because this is an improper fraction. I need to change this to a mixed number. You probably could do this in your head, but 30 goes into 37 one time with 7 leftovers. So we really had 1 and 7/30 right here. This improper fraction is equal to 1 and 7/30. And we're going to carry the 1 whole up to here. And then we have a total of 8 wholes and 7/30 as the part. And that is our answer, 8 wholes and 7/30. Here's one more, 6 and 2/3 plus 4 and 5/8. Again, you don't have to put this vertical line. I just like to do that to make it very clear what our whole numbers are and what our parts are. It's also kind of easy to forget to add the whole numbers. 3 and 8 are both different numbers, so we're going to have to find a common denominator. And I'm just going to do 8 times 3, which is 24. 3 times what is 24? 3 times 8 is 24. That's our version of 1 whole. 2 times 8 is 16. 8 times what is 24? 8 times 3. There's our 1 whole. 5 times 3 is 15. So now we're ready to add 16 plus 15, which is 31 over 24. That is an improper fraction, so 31 divided by 24. And we have a remainder of 7, so 1 and 7 24ths. The 1 is going to regroup with the 6 plus 4. 6 plus 4 plus 1 is 11, and then we had 7 24ths.